Hi, I'm Cindy Nierenberg. I'm on a journey to lose 65 pounds. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is week 31 on my journey. And last week I told you guys that I was going to be following some specific guidelines. No sugar, no flour, no snacking, and 3 meals a day. So I combine those last two when I think about it. No sugar, no flour, and 3 meals a day with no snacking. So I knew I had a really great week this week. My eating was right on target. I was feeling great. I feel like I'm losing weight. And I told you last week that I wasn't going to weigh myself until a month from last week. And that did not happen because I'm human. And I wanted the validation of stepping on the scale and seeing the number move down. So this morning I got on the scale and what I saw was good and it was bad. And it was good in that last week I was at, what were my numbers? 224.8. And this week I'm at 222.4. So the good news is that's a 2.4 pound loss this week, which, let's just celebrate that for a minute. Woo woo! It didn't surprise me, and I was happy about it. But here's the bad part. I told myself that I wasn't going to weigh myself for a month because my reasoning behind that was when I pay attention to my results, my weight loss, I tend to fall off track. But when I pay attention to the process of how I'm going to go about losing the weight, I stay on track. But I needed that validation this morning. And the bad part about that is it was stepping out of integrity with myself. And I know some of you are going to go, you know what, so what, Cindy? It's not a big deal. But it is a big deal to me. And anybody who has struggled with their weight their whole life will understand what I'm about to tell you. When we step outside of our own integrity with weight loss, we disappoint ourselves over and over and over again. There's disappointment, there's frustration, and there's regret, always. And how many times, if you've been on a diet, on a way of eating, on a lifestyle change, whatever you want to call it, and you've told yourself, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to eat sugar and flour. And then the next thing you know, you find yourself in the kitchen eating something, cookies with sugar and flour in them. And then how do you feel afterwards? You feel bad because I shouldn't have eaten that. You feel bad because that was not in my best interest. And you feel bad because you stepped out of integrity with what you said you were going to do. So this week, I have decided, you know what? As somebody who has weighed myself multiple times per week for years and years and years, it's a way that I am able to kind of stay on top of how I'm doing, essentially. Is my weight going up? Is my weight going down? And I am making a decision just for myself that I'm going to go back to that weekly weigh-in. But as an added level of accountability, I'm going to give you the numbers. Because before I'd kind of say, I lost 1.5 pounds. Yeah, I lost 2 pounds. I gained 3 pounds, whatever. I'm going to give you the actual numbers. And I actually have my daughter to thank for that because she was the one that gave me that suggestion. She's like, Mama, you really should say the numbers. And I'm like, okay, will do. And what that does is that helps take the shame and the sting away from being overweight and weighing over 200 pounds. Like who wants to tell the whole world how much they weigh when they weigh over 200 pounds? Not me. But here I am doing it because I think it will get me to a place where I have more self-acceptance and less self-judgment as I go through this process. And remember, for weeks I've been talking about how I am going to be kind. I am going to have compassion and curiosity as I go through this process. So if I look back on the weight and the weighing with curiosity, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to wait a whole month before I weigh myself. That's too long for me. So a week is really good. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next rest of this journey. Weighing on Mondays, reporting the exact numbers to you, continuing to eat no sugar and no flour, and I have 3 meals a day that that don't leave any room for snacking. So what I have discovered with my 3 meals a day is that I have to eat enough during those meals so that I'm not left hungry throughout the rest of the day. And because I am losing weight, I get there's going to be some hunger, but there isn't, because I've taken the flour and the sugar out of my diet, there isn't that gnawing, back of the head kind of hunger, like, ooh, I just want a snack. I just want to run into the kitchen and get something. And that feels really good. So that's my journey for this week. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. Please remember to like and subscribe to my videos, and I'll see you next week with good news.